Sarah, thank you for coming to do the show. How did it feel, just out of curiosity, your first appearance on our stage?
It felt fantastic. I haven't done a proper show like that in quite a while, so it was really, really great. And the audience was beautiful, and having the opportunity to play with Luke Doucette and Melissa McClellan, they're some fantastic musicians that I haven't got to play with for a long time.
I've seen you play solo before, but not with this trio format.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a rare and special treat. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've done this.
Oh, really?
No, that's not true. No, we did one other one about 3 years ago in Montreal, where they came out for a one-off.
So you mentioned during your show that you have a greatest hits set that has just been released, and you talked a little bit about that. I'm curious though, does it feel like some sort of benchmark or milestone in your 20-year plus career?
Well, when I think that about 20 years, 5 records. Geez, it's not very many records in 20 years, is it? But as far as new material, I'm slow. Yeah, certainly it's sort of it's looking back and looking forward. There's hopefully at least another 20 years, if not more, where I'm going to continue to make music. I mean, I can't imagine not ever doing it, really. It was really interesting to put the whole thing together too, just listening back to all these songs, some of which I hadn't heard in years, and just remembering, like, they're little postcards of the emotional place I was in when I wrote them.
It's kind of like a scrapbook of your, at least your career.
A musical scrapbook. Well, a musical scrapbook of my emotional world, and my maturity or immaturity, and my growth as a musician too. Listening to the songs from the first record, thinking, oh, there's some unfortunate lyrics there, But I didn't tend to. I wasn't critiquing it too much. It's more like, oh, that wasn't too bad for a 20-year-old.
Well, speaking of such times, going back 20 plus years, when did you actually begin imagining yourself as a singer, songwriter type person and spending perhaps the rest of your life doing that?
I think the first time I truly thought that this was something I could do for the rest of my life, or as an occupation even, was when I got a record contract. And I was one of those lucky people who was in the right place at the right time. The very first gig I ever played was opening up for Mauve, which was pretty much the reason Network Records started, was to promote Mauve and Skinny Puppy. And the head of A&R was in the guitar player in the band, and he heard me sing and wanted me to join the band. And I was 17, and my parents freaked out. Of course, it didn't happen, but they came back 2 years later and offered me a 5-record deal, pretty much based on my voice and subsequently a few demos that the band that I was in had sent along. But it's like being handed the golden ticket. My mom and my dad, were really supportive of me having music lessons, having art lessons. They encouraged it, but they also hammered into me that you need to get a real job, so you need to go to university. This is not something that you can't be a musician for a job. You just can't. And so when I was offered this contract, I couldn't believe it. I never imagined that this would be a path I would get to choose. And I've always lived my life very instinctively. I go with what feels right and what feels good, and I never had huge expectations about, what I was going to be when I grew up. I just wanted to be happy. I wanted to be doing something I loved to do, and I knew it would be doing something creative. I kind of love all of it. At times I could say, 18 months into a tour, I could say I'm sick to death of touring, but I still love singing. I love playing live. I love being in front of an audience, and I love sharing that energy, that sense of connectedness that happens for me anyway when I sing. That's probably the best drug in the world for me. Being in the studio is a wholly different experience. It's a lot slower. I tend to write when I'm in the studio. I don't come in with 10, 15 songs already written. It's a bit of a slow process, but I love the discovery of that as well. So.
You also seem to have an easy, natural ability to connect with people through your songs, and I think just your mere presence on the stage seems to just inspire people looking at some of the faces close up in the audience tonight. And I'm sure you feel and experience the same thing, especially in an intimate setting like tonight's show.
I really enjoy playing to small audiences because I can actually look out and see faces and see individuals. And like I said, there's nothing better than connecting with strangers. I mean, I love people. I love hearing their stories. I love. I'm a real people person, and I enjoy being around people. I enjoy getting to play for people. I enjoy seeing people enjoy what I'm doing. That makes me feel really good.